Today we are sitting here with Dr. Donna Ligda. She's the author of 2 books. We're going to hear about each today. Donna, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So let's get started. Tell us a little bit about your background, if you would, please.
Well, I started out my career in healthcare, and I sold really high-end products. I mean, these were pharmaceuticals that nobody wanted to take. They were cradle to grave, meaning you're born with the condition and you died with it. So you had to have treatment, all of the time, and it was very expensive. So everybody struggled on how they were going to, pay for this medication. So my job was not only dealing with salespeople, but going with them on sales calls. So one day I might find myself actually sitting across, at a diner with a family that just was in shell shock because they had this diagnosis on their newborn child. As a result of the medical center where I was working, having the sale, that actually moved my career in a new direction. And so I entered into the sales arena. And that I had to learn all about sales and how you structure yourself, to do sales. And that's what got me into the business.
So this led you to writing your first book, Born to Sell.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Born to Sell is the sales primer divided into 9 chapters, and after each chapter there's a highlighted information that talks about what actually is within the chapters, and it's meant for people who are either want a refresher in sales themselves or are new to sales and want to learn how to do it. And there is companion tape that goes along with that that is also on Amazon.com.
So Born to Sell, is that a book just for salespeople, or is it for the everyday man as well?
It's for primarily it's a sales book, but it also talks about sales in its broadest concept, because as you know, it's not selling just a product. We also sell ideas, we sell concepts, we sell our position on certain, things in life. If you ever had a girlfriend or, a mother or a father, and you're trying to convince them of something you want them to do, you're selling to them. You're selling your idea and what you want. And that's what this book addresses.
That's great that it's for everybody. Maybe this will help me actually get my girlfriend on the date where I want to go.
There you go. There you go. You got the idea.
Yep. So we followed up that book with another book, Sales Success Now. Tell us a little bit about this book, please. In
Sales Success Now, I actually interviewed 15 people that are in various aspects of sales. Many of them are world famous, international, they've written their own books. And the whole theory behind it was this: I wanted to test whether my ideas and my selling technique and what I was looking to do was the same as what these folks are doing. That was the primary goal. The secondary goal that I had, which is equally important, is that I wanted to give back to an organization called Doctors Without Borders. They actually provide medical care free of charge. They're a 501c3 corporation throughout the world. A tremendous organization, and I decided that the majority of the proceeds of this book would be donated to that organization for humanitarian reasons.
In your first book, you talk about the visualization of sales and how you walk through people of that process. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, actually that fits in with one of the passions that I have. Before we bring anything into the physical, we first have to be able to think it in our minds. And what this book is about is how you free the mind of clutter to be able to envision yourself. So study after study has shown that people who use this process is actually as effective as if you did the sale itself through using this technique. And that's what I teach people to do. There's a lot of science behind it, and people really, really enjoy it.
In your second book, you talked to Dr. John Hayes. Please tell us a little bit about what he does.
Dr. Axe actually is a physician that travels throughout the world. I mean, he has a very active practice, but he also writes nutrition books. And the nutrition books are really for people that do an awful lot of traveling. If you've ever done any extensive traveling, you know how hard it is to maintain an adequate diet. You know, airport food is not exactly the healthiest in the world, and you do a lot of late night entertaining of people as part of the job. So what Dr. Axe actually has done is share through his cookbooks, through his own work, how you can, you know, be healthy, remain healthy. It's just chock full of ideas to help, you know, those of us who are road warriors.
That is great. I know when doing sales myself, I had a hard time maintaining my weight. So that should help me a lot.
It certainly helped me.
Another doctor that you talked to is Dr. Ivan Meisner. Tell us a little bit about him, please.
Dr. Meisner is one of the sales superstars. I mean, he has business-to-business corporations, the largest in the world. Over 50 countries are represented. He is an individual who appears on TV a lot. I mean, interviewed as an expert witness in different aspects. And so he was really an individual that I enjoyed talking with very much. And we really had a lot of ideas that were common and, you know, shared a commonality in the way that we approach sales. And so that in itself is a good validation for anybody who is either selling or writing about selling.
Nowadays, everybody uses technology. Everyone either has a smartphone that they carry around in their pocket or carrying around an iPad that they use to access the internet. Please tell us a little bit how technology has forever changed this landscape of sales.
Of all of the modern things that have happened, I think the internet has probably taken society more by storm than anything else. The internet has actually fundamentally changed how sales occurs throughout the world. What we used to have to sell pretty much in local markets, maybe at the state level and so forth, a very limited geographic area, now we can sell anywhere in the world. And so the market just has exploded. But at the same time, what the internet has done is open the door for a lot of people to get into sales, so it's increased competition. It's increased competition and it's lowered prices. If you just take what I'm doing is in writing the books, the way books are marketed, the way that they're distributed, the way people buy them, the numbers of people who buy from other countries, all of these factors have come together and there's been a convergence. We are absolutely at our fingertips instantaneously. We know when something is happening in world events. This makes it a very exciting time to live. It also makes it a little bit different, and those of us that, you know, are in traditional health care, in medicine, in writing, it really doesn't matter what you do anymore. This has had a tremendous impact on the way that we do business.
As we know, the internet has forever changed the way we do sales. Another thing that it has that's on the internet is social media. Please tell us your take on social media and sales.
Well, I think that it really makes instantaneous results, sometimes even before the event itself is actually completed, as we can see as hash marks move across the screen when you're watching the news, you're watching debates, watching sports. You're going to actually see scores of what's happening in other aspects of the world at the same time. And sometimes people are taking, you know, polls, and they say so many people for, so many people against. And, you know, this is really good information, but it's also a real influence on how we view the world that we inhabit and the instantaneous results that we get as far as what's occurring around us.
Often you hear sales and marketing go hand in hand. Tell us the truth. Are they really that close related?
No, they're not. They're two very distinct parameters or professions or approaches. They have some things in common, it's true. Like everything, there's a little bit of overlap, but mostly sales is about a product, an idea, a concept. But how you get that product, concept, or idea out to the market is what marketing is all about. What I've done is I have a 5-part advanced sales technique that I developed, and I touch a great deal more on the concept of what is the difference between sales and marketing as two separate disciplines in that 5-part 1-hour series. Also available on Amazon, as well as I address it in my book, Born to Sell.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. You can find both of these books and many more things on Amazon.com, both Born to Sell and To Sell Success Now.
And in addition to those 2 books, you can also find 2 tapes that I did on visualization processes and a 5-part advanced teaching series that will cover much more in depth many of the concepts that we've talked about today. And thank you so very much for having me. I really appreciate it.